It's a special Christmas night edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going.
And off we go from Seattle.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession.
Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
Since the Cardinals moved up and drafted him 10th overall out of UCLA back in 2018, Josh Rosen hadn't had much of a chance to get comfortable on an NFL roster. Physically, every attribute you look for in a quarterback, now it's all up to him to make the most of his opportunities.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, it's Fletcher.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Now it's Carson.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, these two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rosen. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Rosen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fletcher. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's Carson.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
2nd and 9.
Now a give right side. It's Fletcher. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. They'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over in his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they got a chance of coming out with a W.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. On 3rd down, Fletcher. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Fletcher. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Trey Greenlaw in there on the tackle. 2nd and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 18.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's Rosen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, Fletcher. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Now Rosen looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Dallas Goedert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots, and here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game. And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left and end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Here's Rosen to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken right around the 44. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now a play fake. Lance. He completes it to Beckham. Touchdown, 49ers. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Extra point forthcoming. And that one makes it 14-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Rosen will throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Rosen's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goedert. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Rosen. Catch is made by Metcalf. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the 49ers are going to have it here at their own 15.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
That'll be complete to Sermon. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. So they take the deficit into the lockers. You know they had plans to receive the football. A nice drive instead of fumble on the kickoff.
And that can be demoralizing right there because as you point.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing?
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Touchdown, 49ers! Odell Beckham with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Lockett the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
From the 39, Lance. That's Samuel, caught left side.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team game over personal protection.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. Flush to his right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now. Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. Lance looking to throw it. And right back to Kittle. This time he's got it. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And this one is right through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle, as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Rosen's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
first down. It's Fletcher. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Lance, a give now to Sermon, and he's going to have a Niners first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Shotgun now for Lance. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Got his target, Samuel. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Eluding the pressure right. 20! And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll buy some time right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Lockett the return. And able to get this out to the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Going for Metcalf on the deep ball, and it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Throw left side complete. That's Woods. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. He'll find Metcalf. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 44. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rosen to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Dallas Goedert with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. On play action, Lance. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And not the result they were hoping for there, at least in terms of the kick team, as that'll get out of bounds at just the 35-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Uses the stiff arm. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Rosen. Right side complete. That's Woods. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last